Entrepreneurs, listen up. What if ancient wisdom could unlock modern success? In this video, we're diving into Solomon's Proverbs, timeless truths every entrepreneur should know. From wealth building to decision making, these verses hold the keys to purpose-driven prosperity. Whether you're launching a startup or scaling your vision, these insights will challenge, inspire, and transform how you lead. Stay to the end. You'll discover the one proverb that could change your business forever. Please subscribe, like, and share. Those who are responsible for the little things are being trained for the much greater ones. You're about to understand why humility is the bridge between true success and the collapse of the proud. As it's written, arrogance destroys empires, humility builds legacies. The proud will be humbled, but the humble will gain honor. King Solomon saw with his own eyes how kings fell because of their pride. He understood early on that arrogance is a silent poison that can destroy what took years of hard work to build. In the business world, it's exactly the same. The entrepreneur who believes they are untouchable begins to crumble from the inside out. Solomon's wisdom teaches that true strength isn't about imposing your will, but in knowing how to listen. The arrogant speak to prove their worth, but the wise listen to increase their knowledge. Humility is the very soil where prosperity grows. Those who recognize their own limitations open themselves up to growth. But those who believe they are above everyone else are closing the very doors that God Himself wanted to open for them. Solomon warns us, the humble are exalted because their attitude inspires trust, generates partnerships, and attracts wise counsel. The proud, on the other hand, push people away and eventually find themselves alone at the top of a crumbling castle. This is why so many lose everything when they let their ego dominate their decisions. In our modern times, humility is a rare and incredibly powerful differentiator. The humble entrepreneur doesn't feel inferior. In fact, they become greater because they learn from everyone. They understand that each person can be an instrument of divine wisdom. Arrogance seeks recognition, but humility seeks purpose. And it is within that purpose that true power lies, the power to build something that will last far longer than your own life. If you want to leave a legacy and not just a bank balance, practice what Solomon lived. Be a servant in wisdom, and God will make you a king in purpose. Next, you will understand how emotional control is the key that separates leaders who prosper from those who lose everything. Proverbs 7. Emotional control is power. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Solomon understood that true power lies not in dominating others, but in dominating oneself. He observed that a king unable to control his emotions loses his throne faster than a fool spends his inheritance. In the business world, it's the same. Those who act out of anger, impulsiveness, or ego destroy bridges that took years to build. The wise respond calmly when the environment calls for shouting, and that's what sets them apart. Solomon's wisdom reveals that self-control is one of the pillars of spiritual and financial leadership. An entrepreneur who masters their emotions can make decisions that others miss amidst the chaos. They don't react, they choose. They understand that silence is sometimes the most strategic response. A word spoken at the wrong time can cost a client, a partner, or an entire future. Therefore, Solomon teaches, before ruling over others, learn to rule over your own heart. We live in an age where everyone wants to be right, but few want wisdom. Spiritual maturity is realizing that peace is worth more than pride, and the true winner is the one who maintains serenity even when everything around them is a storm. The wise entrepreneur doesn't let themselves be guided by the emotions of the moment. They trust in divine guidance, and this calm allows them to prosper when others give up. Remember, emotional control is the shield of the wise. It protects you from bad decisions, preserves relationships, and attracts opportunities that only come to those who exude balance. Now you'll discover how honesty is the most profitable asset an entrepreneur can possess. Proverb 8. Honesty is the most profitable asset. The righteous man conducts his affairs with justice. Solomon knew that wealth without integrity is just a castle built on sand. Unjust profits might grow quickly, but their downfall is inevitable. Biblical business wisdom teaches that true prosperity is sustained by trust, and trust is built with honesty. Word by word, decision by decision. A fair entrepreneur doesn't look for shortcuts because they know shortcuts steal the process, and the process is what forges character. In a world where many sell appearances and few live by principles, honesty becomes the greatest competitive advantage. Solomon knew the righteous may take longer to succeed, but their harvest is lasting. Quick success without justice is like a flash in the pan. It shines for a moment and then vanishes. But success born from truth endures because it is grounded in faith and righteousness. The entrepreneur with integrity needs no proof. Their results speak for themselves. Honesty is the divine seal that authenticates success. It attracts solid partnerships, loyal customers, and doors that money alone cannot open. The righteous prosper because they carry God's blessing, and where there is blessing, there is multiplication. Lying may generate temporary profit, but truth builds a legacy. And it is this legacy that transforms entrepreneurs into examples of wisdom and spiritual prosperity. So before every decision, ask yourself, is this fair in God's eyes? Because honesty is the currency that never loses its value. In the following Proverbs, you will understand why talking less and doing more is one of the most powerful secrets revealed by Solomon. Proverb 9. Learn to talk less and act more. He who guards his mouth preserves his life. Solomon observed that words have the power to build empires or destroy them. He knew that many wise people have lost opportunities not because of a lack of talent, but because of too much talk. In the business world, silence is a tool of power. Those who talk too much reveal their strategies, waste energy, and lose respect. The wise entrepreneur learns from Solomon. Before opening your mouth, weigh the value of each word. Sometimes silence conveys more authority than 1,000 promises. History's great builders never needed to announce what they would do. They simply did it. This is the essence of Solomon's wisdom. Action speaks louder than words. A fool promises what they can't deliver, but a wise person delivers what they never promised. In business, this translates into reputation, the invisible asset that sustains a leader's credibility. Those who deliver on their promises attract respect, trust, and lasting prosperity. The secret to quiet prosperity is to act purposefully and let the results speak for themselves. Solomon would say, "The tongue is a sword. He who knows when to keep silent conquers without wounding." Strategic silence isn't cowardice, it's applied wisdom. It's choosing the right moment to speak and the right moment to listen. The entrepreneur who masters this becomes a spiritual strategist, guided more by observation than by exposition. So the next time you feel the urge to over-explain, remember, wisdom is not proven with words, but with results. Finally, you will understand how to combine faith and wisdom, the balance that transforms ordinary businesses into eternal legacies. Proverbs 10. Faith and wisdom go together. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. Solomon concludes his advice with a truth that has spanned centuries. Human wisdom is limited, but divine wisdom is infinite. He understood that success without faith is like a ship without a compass. It may sail, but it will never know where it's going. The modern entrepreneur is surrounded by information, but often lacks direction. That's why so many accumulate wealth and still feel lost. Solomon's wisdom teaches us that true understanding begins when we recognize that without God, no strategy is complete. Faith doesn't replace planning, it strengthens it. When you combine wisdom and divine trust, your plans gain purpose, and purpose attracts prosperity. Solomon wasn't just a wealthy king, He was a man guided by spiritual principles that connected him to the source of all wisdom. He knew that every decision made in alliance with God was a sure step toward abundance, and this is the foundation of wealth with purpose, not just prospering, but prospering in alignment with divine will. How many times have you trusted only yourself and seen everything fall apart? Solomon would say, "Intelligence without faith is presumption. Faith without wisdom is delusion." Balance lies in seeking divine guidance before acting. The wise entrepreneur prays, reflects, and then executes. They understand that relying on God is not weakness, it is strategy, because those who trust in the Creator never walk alone. Therefore, surrender your plans to the Lord and allow Him to direct each step. Faith shows you the way, and wisdom teaches you how to walk it. Now that you know the 10 Proverbs of Solomon that every entrepreneur needs, it's time to reflect on what truly guides your decisions: fear, ego, or faith. After hearing these lessons, one question should echo within you. Have you been living as a servant of the system or as the king of your own destiny? Solomon taught that true prosperity begins not in the wallet, but in the mind and heart. It is in the small decisions, the planning, the discipline, the humility, and the faith that greatness is built. Because wealth, according to the Bible, is not just about accumulating, it's about impact. It's about leaving a financial and spiritual legacy that speaks for generations. So look at your own life and ask yourself, will you continue accumulating debt, or will you start accumulating wisdom? How many choices have you made without seeking the timeless advice of Solomon? If the wisest king in history were to observe your decisions today, what would he say about them? The truth is simple. God didn't call you to just survive, but to rule. And he who rules wisely, lives purposefully, multiplies with justice, and prospers with peace. If this message touched your heart, subscribe now and walk with me on this journey of wisdom, faith, and prosperity. Activate the notification bell, share this video, and remember, each new lesson could be the missing key to transforming your story. May the wisdom of Solomon guide your decisions, your business, and your legacy. And may your every step be sustained by the divine light of ancestral wisdom.